What's up, y'all? It's just Rhonda. Welcome to my channel. It's Sunday Fun Day, and we're here for the timeline tea. I know I don't normally do it on Sundays, but it's the first of the year. And based on the way the information is, brought to me, that will determine when I bring it to you. It's kind of hard to schedule these things because we don't know what the internet and the timeline going to be doing out there, y'all. So, yeah, how's everybody's Sunday so far? Mine was pretty good. I woke up to crisp morning. I went on my walk this morning. I was walking down the sidewalk and I saw a deer like hightailing it down the street, trying to get back to the woods. Sometimes the deer be out there and maybe it's because of the weather, but they will get caught up and forget to go in when they're supposed to. What's up, T? You here for the conversation? I'm so glad you're here because I'm really interested in your input of what we got going on here. For the timeline tea. Might as well get into it, y'all. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and here we are, day 4. What happened on day 3? Your people was out there acting a fool, like as per usual. When I say your people, I mean your grand wizard in charge. He's out here making decisions. I don't know, unbeknownst to people, he just, I guess, has decided if he want to make a decision to do whatever hell he want to do. I feel like, he gets credit for making all these decisions, but we know that he's kind of stupid and not really in carrying as much power as, he pretends to. So we know that he is being led by, I don't know, a gang of billionaires, the ones that are all like assigned to the country at the moment. Venezuela has the largest proven oil reserve in the world, holding roughly 17% of the global total. President says the USA intends to take control of that. Is that how you do it? I mean, okay. So this isn't a subject that I'm super duper, I'm not from Venezuela. I do live in a Latina community. And so I hear things like so, that part that I get in English. I do understand that Venezuela has been in a terrible, position for a while now. And people have fled and come here. That's the ironic thing. So they've come here and other places. Spain, I feel like, is one of the places where I hear a lot of good things about Spain. I don't know that that's somewhere I would want to go. Like, listen, on my list is Amsterdam. My exit plan is Amsterdam. So as I prepare myself for whatever the hell is going to happen, because when I listen to the people of Venezuela, clearly they are conflicted because their president was corrupt, a corrupt dictator. So I get, why they would be celebrating, but, at the hands of what? I'm going to let this lady speak real quick because she's actually a former white nationalist. So I'm going to put her link in the bottom because she be coming with a lot of...
I've been talking about for weeks that the action being taken in the Caribbean was a lie from the Trump administration, saying that they were doing something about drugs. They never proved anything about drugs. They just unalived several innocent fishermen and civilians, but that it was all about money, oil, and power. And it was about seizing the assets of Venezuela for U.S. interests. And they have done just that. This is one of those times I wish I wasn't right. They sent Delta Force and the United States military into Venezuela last night to kidnap Maduro and his wife to somewhere. We don't know where they are. We don't know if they're alive. And now Trump has announced that the U.S. is going to temporarily take over control and operations of Venezuela. We have now seized another country for our own material interests. We're going to do the same thing we've done all over the globe, including in the Middle East, because we are responsible in large part for the instability in the Middle East by propping up fake regimes that are going to cater to our interests so that we can steal the resources from that country and its people to make ourselves wealthier and make them more impoverished. This is a declaration of war. This is colonialism. This is the US inserting ourselves into another prolonged conflict that is not only going to bring us into the war that he promised Kamala Harris was going to put us in, but it's also going to fray our global relations even further because of our allegiances that we've already participated in with Russia and Israel. This is going to be extremely damaging in our relationships to Europe, anybody who's part of the UN. This is going to be a very, very dangerous reckoning. It's also going to be incredibly expensive. It is also being perfectly timed to start a conflict to coincide with the midterm elections this year. I've been talking.
Okay, so that's the part that really struck me because, like I said, because I'm around people that are from Venezuela and, not being able to go back home to their country, that's not something that we've ever really had to deal with over here. What'd you say? He thinks that we are stupid and believe his BS. I think they think it don't matter. I don't think they care what we think, which is, we've got, it's just so stressful to think about. What's up, Jack Tony? Yeah, well, we'll catch you on the replay. I know you're gonna have something entertaining to say. Yeah, I live around people who haven't been able to go back to their country and that kind of thing. I see the conflict, but what happens is he's, for this particular part of the Latino community, has decided, how do you go take over an entire country and say, just we're going to handle it from here? That's the diabolical part of it. But there's a big part of the community that's going to be so grateful that this dictator was removed, from their country. It's like having the Wicked Witch from the Wizard of Oz. You know what I'm saying? In charge of things, just being mean and nasty. And then Thanos comes in and wipes them out, the Wicked Witch and her, wild monkeys. And so is Thanos better? Is it just another different kind of scary? And over here, the manipulation is he has this group of people, population of people who are grateful that he did what he did and are going to see him, in a positive light right before the midterm elections. So, the trickery is there. I feel like, the revolution. This is where we're going to start. This is my first timeline tea of the year. And the revolution, I'm going to keep talking about the revolution until there's some resolution. That's how I feel about it. And so everybody's revolution, you got to fit in where you're supposed to. Shout out to Queen Catherine. We need to learn some chess moves over here so we can manipulate and maneuver our way through, whatever is about to go down. We started the last year with the boots on the ground, and we've been warned. We've learned all the dances. We know all the steps, and we have our fans. So we need to get our boots on the ground, wherever that is. For me, it's just, talk about it. If 20 of y'all come over here, if 200 of y'all come over here, if, 30 of y'all come over here, that's 30 more people, that are a part of the conversation and at least aware. It's all about making him and his family money. They said his son or sons-in-law has partnerships with this oil company. Man, the ish goes so deep that we have been thinking on a small level, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but when you have hopes and dreams, but you got to figure out how to pay the rent before you can get to your hopes and dreams. I think that's where a lot of people live. And then there's levels up, people who are at least able to live comfortably, but still are, dealing with, damn, if I get sick because I've, committed myself to this corporation that pays me very well. So I'm not mad at it. But now if I get sick, you know what I'm saying? Can't afford to take care of myself. Some of us ain't had insurance in a very long time. So, judge me if you want to, but that's my reality. I don't work for a corporation. I work for myself. So sacrifices have to be made. Anyway, we think on a smaller scale. I watched that documentary, The Family. It's not something that's like riveting that you're going to be wanting to sit down. You have to sit and pay attention. It's definitely a lot of listen to what they're saying. And when I was watching that and I seen all these different world leaders coming to have conversations with people that we don't even know. Like the billionaires ain't in our face. You got to go to the pictures, like the Epstein files and the freak offs. You go to the pictures and you see who's in the background, and you be like, you were there. You were at the freak off. You were at the Epstein plane island. It's straight up like, oh, the purple and the blue and the red is all corrupt, and all the lines are very blurry. But yeah, keep your eye on the midterms, because on top of billionaires doing what billionaires do, and the fact that they could go over to this country and be like, hey, we'll handle this from here. What if that happened here? Like, we be so on our cocky shit, like it can't happen here. I feel like in my whole life I've heard how America is the greatest country to live in based on, our freedoms, which when you go to other places, you're very humbled and you realize, maybe they're not exaggerating. There's corruptness everywhere. So like I said, on a small level, I guess here, the one thing we could do is figure out where we're going to spend our money. And we're talking about oil, what do you call it? Fossil fuel versus natural fuel. We see like the planet like crumbling apart, and, massive rivers going through Texas. And, I don't know how natural disasters are natural anymore. I don't know if I'm being fooled with or what the hell is going on. But anyway, day 3, this is where we are. So for all of you people who have not been able to go to your country and are feeling like the Grand Wizard Cheeto is doing such an amazing, wonderful thing. Remember last year, this time, first thing on the list was deportation. And so you might get to go over there on different terms than you thought you were going to get to go. So he is not to be trusted. You know what? Yesterday, so I went on a walk and it was like a lot of cops. It was a very high presence of police activity in my neighborhood. And then my neighborhood is not known for that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about like the traffic stop kind of, situation. I'm talking about, police lights, like what the heck is going on? And this is very early in the morning. So I followed a community page, and all day long, people were like, what's up with these cops? Why is there so many police activity? I'm going to just say that when I go to Walmart, there's a large group of Latin, people standing by cars, probably what I think, because at first I was like, what are they standing over there? Standing by the car, standing. I think they are drivers that are delivering food, and they have to be somewhere, so they kind of congregate together, you know what I'm saying? And when the food order comes, then they, take off and do their thing. But it also, like I said, based on the demographics of this community, is a good spot for whoever's be rolling through here to catch them one. So the people were on edge. And based on the way I look, I don't know that they would, be trying to decipher what the hell I am. I wear a t-shirt that say black, which is not necessarily better, but let's just be clear. What'd you say, T? He would put the lady that lost the Venezuelan election in charge, that one. Well, I feel like that's what they've been doing. You know what I'm saying? Kind of, that's how they got past us in the first place. And when I mean y'all and me, I'm just saying. Some of, us lower level people, all we could do is go vote. And I feel like I played my part, but I feel he also like very slickly, put people into place. This was a long game, trust and believe. They didn't just come over here because they're all stupid. And yeah, he's putting people in place like that will, negotiate things. I mean, she should be careful because she's a woman. And right when she thinks he could be trusted, her ass could be missing too. Remember how we saw his good old boy Pence running around through that, what do you call it, Capitol building, trying to make sure it doesn't go down? Guess that was just practice. Anyway. Is that all I have to say about that? Yeah, don't be falling for the trickery. The midterms are coming, and don't be on his list of things to get rid of after he's stolen your vote. on a lighter note, I don't know if it's any lighter. It was just something that caught my eye for people that are out looking for luxury vehicles and the change that's going. I'm a GM kid. So sometimes these things like, what does this mean for the people that work? Because they try to keep people from child. When I say they, I mean they not like us. So BMW files a patent for a new screw designed to prevent owners from fixing their own cars. The screws will be removed at dealerships, signaling a new move for automakers across the world. This is what I think about that. So basically, BMW has filed for a new screw design that could make it harder for car owners to repair their own vehicles. The fastener features a head shape like a BMW logo, requiring a proprietary tool rather than standard hardware. If used, the design could push more repairs towards dealerships and authorized service centers, raising concerns among the right to repair advocates. Critics say it adds to the growing list of manufacturer tactics that will restrict independent repairs and increase costs for consumers. Well, this is what I think. I think you should not own a BMW. What's up, Elsie? I think you should not own a BMW. I think if you are in the market for a luxury car, you should probably just lease that thing, make them responsible for the repairs, and bring it back. For goodness sakes. BMW want to make it harder for DIY. I mean, hire some people over there. This is how the old school people do it. You go work for BMW, get a few of them screws, and then you be like, hey, I can fix this for you around to my shop. Like, I don't think anything's changed there. There's going to be a guy with the screw that can fix your BMW in case, you run into a situation, and I feel like it's one of those luxury cars. I feel like a lot of luxury cars. I have a friend that has a Porsche SUV, and I drove a Nissan Altima, and I never had to take it to the shop here, not for anything drastic. But those luxury car people stay at the dealership. Yeah, someone got a hood copy. That doesn't scare us, BMW. It probably have a AI chip in it, and then you go get arrested at your little shop for having one of those BMW screwdrivers. Y'all gonna have to think outside the box. It's on now, chow. I agree, Elstead. That did cross my mind. This is a problem the farmers have. They cannot fix their own John Deeres, and so it sits there. They've been working on the plan for a long time, Elstead. We have to, start from scratch. Remember all the people that will be like, if it was me back in slavery, I wouldn't have took that shit. I would not be on Mass's boat saying, now here we like, give us free. They told y'all it wasn't going to happen. It's already hard to fix these cars depending on where the battery is. Walmart can't change it. Yeah. So Walmart won't be your go-to. That's crazy. Greedy manufacturers. That's how corporation works. I guess we're going to have to move closer and walk there. It'll be healthier. We won't need the car. People are crazy anyway. You just be in walking distance from your situation. Get yourself a little Vespa. That's where I'm falling in. I'm in the retirement community. I'm looking to get the hell away from y'all and all that nonsense you got going on over there. Yeah, just lease it. Then you don't have to worry about it anymore. What else was going on? I saw this and I was like, what the hell? Why is Nick Cannon out here taking photos, Christmas photos with all these different, he's spent the holidays making Christmas photos with all his different baby mamas. Now, this one here, I don't care about what their names are. It's a slew of light-skinned women and one brown one that doesn't really mess with him like that. So here's their picture. He sees, the post together. It's like their happy family here. I guess he's still rolling over through there. They got 1, 2, 3 children together. Them kids look the same way Mariah's kids used to look when I was little. She ain't in these pictures. Here goes Miss Thing from Selling Sunset. Listen, now I'm low key a lamb, and I don't like to claim these things, but I'm not like a real lamb. But Miss Bree could keep Mariah Carey's name out her mouth, and she's over here acting like Nick is her man, and that's her man, and that's what she call him. But he's sliding through, even though he just left the other photo shoot with that lady and them 3 other children. They have 1 son together. I think she wanted another, but he might have declined. Here's the other lady. This is the one that had, was the baby born? Yes. Their baby was born and suffered from some type of disorder and, passed away. And then she came back for another one. Like she was determined to get this thing from, not thing meaning the child, but she got what she wanted. This situation, that's what I mean by thing. Like to be a member of this, I'm gonna take a photo shoot with my baby daddy. Was this all in one day? He had to schedule this in to come take a picture. This is some old ain't shit. Take a picture that with your daddy. Hey Shayna, child, we just over here looking at Nick Cannon do pictures with all his baby mamas. How many are there? 1, 2, 3 out of the 6 took pictures. So there's other children and other baby mamas out here, waiting on Nick Cannon to come through and say hello and do whatever it is they do over there. Unprotected, clearly. Let's give a toast to the douchebags. Here's some more douchey behavior. Let me see first what y'all say about Nick. You want to see a picture of him and all his kids together? I mean, they don't probably know him. It looks like he just came over there to take pictures with this lady, or several women, 3 of the mamas. 3 of the mamas want to stand up there. Do y'all want to go take pictures with your significant other and all his baby mamas, for the holidays? That's one calendar. That's what they need to do. They need a calendar. Next year, there should be the Nick Cannon family calendar. And then we can figure out like what he does like around, it's January. Let's just have a picture of the, him and the kids and, you know what I'm saying? Whichever ones is January's and so on and so forth. We'll figure it out. But, so far he's still got 6 on the roster. That's a lie. So he's going to have to keep working. And those children, well, there's a lot of them. This fool right here is disgusting. They're gross. They're super gross. I'm so confused. I mean, I'm not confused. So, what happened? No sound. Oh, shit. Okay, let me do it again. See, y'all have to keep me on track because I was just getting ready to go off and y'all didn't even hear it. No problem. We're going to do it again. This is stinking Shannon Sharpe at Ocho.
I bet I go to the Dominican and treat myself. What kind of car they got over there?
They drive mopeds.
Oh, what they got? They got something with like long hair, light skin.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the DR. Like you talk about Dominican Republic.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
What they do out there?
Oh,
Man, if they don't, when I travel for soccer. That's the DR. Like you talk soccer reasons only. So if it ain't got nothing to do with soccer,
I'm gonna sock something. Oh,
soccer.
So Shannon Sharp would like to go to the Dominican Republic and sock something. Long hair, light skin got him in 19 mil of trouble. Child, he has learned nothing. He has learned absolutely nothing. And at first, I'm looking at Chad like he's smart enough to just pretend like he doesn't know what the hell Shannon is talking about, except for the part where he finds it so freaking funny. Shannon Sharp is on the right track in terms of not ever getting into a relationship with anyone. He should not. He should never be in a relationship with anyone. And he should only have transactional interactions with sex workers. Be careful out there, ladies. What you sign up for. Make sure that when he says sock something, he don't mean sock something for real, because he seems a little dangerous. That's all I'm saying. Child, speaking of dangerous, I don't know why I'm laughing. So these two are in trouble again. I don't know if you would call it trouble. It's more like scandal. Tyler Perry and Will Smith have found themselves out here being accused. They have accusations being brought up against them, both of them. As far as Tyler Perry is concerned, where there's smoke, there's fire. I mean, he keeps on getting in trouble, and not in trouble yet necessarily, but he keeps on getting accused of being out here grabbing the butts of light-skinned men with wavy hair. Him and Shannon Sharp sure got something in common. They want them a light-skinned, wavy-haired. That Tyler Perry and Shannon Sharp. And again, Tyler Perry, much like Shannon, just pay for it. Why don't you just pay for it and stop being out here, inappropriately touching young men? It's true. Tony, it's true. He could just go, he's got billions of dollars. He could just go down to the place where, sex workers. And the crazy thing is that these two, I feel like it's a bit of a entitlement power thing. I think that's definitely part of it. I don't want to start throwing out no types of terms because I'm not anything but a YouTuber, and I'm not going to psychologically anything. I'm just a person with an opinion. Anyway, I feel like it has to absolutely be more of a power thing, because why not? And y'all are trying to conceal the fact that you like boys. Will you like boys, girls? I don't know. It'd be beards and things. You and Jada got things going on over there that all to hide the fact. Wouldn't it just be easier if you was just gay or a little bit gay or whatever element of P you want to be? But to be out here assaulting people and touching people that didn't ask you to do it. And the whole grooming thing, William, are you in the background of some of them parties over on Epstein Island? I'm just curious. Things are being said out here. And although everything you hear is not true, things are being said. I mean, Tyler Perry has a whole documentary and has went on the Oprah show and talked about allegedly. El Cid says allegedly. Right. That's what I meant, El Cid. Allegedly, quite possibly could be what we had heard out on the streets. Anyway, Tyler has a whole documentary, and he was on Oprah talking about, the horrible things that he experienced as a child at the hands of an adult. So sometimes people grow up and take these types of behaviors on themselves, R. Kelly. Just saying. So I'm not saying I know what happened over here. I'm just saying where there's smoke, there's fire. And then there's Will, because this isn't the first time we've heard this about Will. They've been saying this about Will so long. Isn't it funny how Hollywood is always trying to act like they're so open-minded, at the same time still to this day out here saying you can't be a leading man, if you might be a little bit gay. It go all the way back to Rock Hudson and all them. You have to see the documentary, and I think Ryan Murphy did one called Hollywood, where how all the Hollywood men would go to the gas station to get hooked up. Wild. We've been suspects since 6 degrees of separation. You know what? And it was suspected back then, Jatoni. You might have just, revealed a little bit about your age. 6 degrees of separation. We know you over 25. That didn't even make me suspect him. I felt like, it was one of those things that in Hollywood, maybe that was his rite of passage, Jatoni. I was going to say something, but I literally changed my mind while I was talking. Anyway, not everyone in Hollywood is always associated with these type of allegations. Things keep coming up with y'all. Will and Jada was over there entangling themselves with August Alsina, who was 21, young man, and, supposedly not at the best of health at that time. And Will definitely was not acting surprised when the whole, about the whole entanglement conversation. He was just annoyed that it was public. While at this point, his son's dressed like a girl. Well, you know what? And his wife looked like a girl. Ooh. Yeah. So, okay, about the first part of that. His son dresses like a girl and is probably much happier. Jaden don't give a flipping fly what y'all think he might be sleeping with. And I think it's fine. And he's cute and artistic, and he could go to Hollywood and he could make a movie and be the leading person. You know what I'm saying? Based on whatever the story is. We seen Jaden throw it down when that, what was that movie? Pursuit of Happiness. I remember going to Blockbuster to get that video, and I let Kylie pick it, and I was like, pick a video, and she picks The Pursuit of Happiness. And I was like, you're not going to like that. She was just determined to take this movie home. So we took the movie home, and she watched it, and she said nothing the entire time. And when it was over, she said, I thought this movie was supposed to be about happiness. Yeah, I told you. His wife dresses like a guy. I mean, and maybe, somewhat pubescent. She's a teeny tiny lady that refuses to eat food for fun. She only eats for nourishment. I don't know. I was listening to, what's his name? Bilal. Make It Make Sense, have Bilal on there. And I was like, I don't want to hear him either. But, he was around it, and he was talking about Jada, how she grew up. And, we see her mother, this beautiful woman now, but we know in the beginning she, not you typing and working at the same time. Oh, but you hear though. No, she grew up, her mother was on drugs. You know what I'm saying? And that was her childhood. And, we can say that we've overcome these things, just like Tyler Perry. It's just a lot going on, and I'm not saying you can't grow up that way and not be affected. It's a lot of stuff going on. And what I do know is Will took his happy ass up on that stage at the Academy Awards and slapped the dog fire out of Chris Rock. And I mean, at the time, I was like, Chris Rock might have needed to be smacked in the mouth. It's just the way it all went down. However, I was like, the audacity of this man to think it was okay to walk his black ass up on that stage and slap somebody. Assault. He didn't even go to jail. He didn't even have to leave the party. That's wild. So for me to think that he's out here doing some of the things that the people are saying that he didn't, could be. Could be. Nothing ever really comes out of it though, because we keep hearing these allegations over and over and over and over again. And now we have people in place that we have people in place that are going to protect these type of people. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. Child, I know this man Bilal is over here suing everybody under the sun. And good luck, child. Sometimes I think, I don't get the point. I don't know what happened with that whole story. Will is a bonfire, Philly streets dude. Well, I'm not from Philly. You're going to have to consult with El Cid. I don't even know what that means. What is a bonfire? Is that some type of gang member? Ja Tony, I'm talking to you. Yeah. Hadn't heard anything so far that's come out of any of these allegations. So rich, powerful people get away with a lot of stuff. And so if it's a money grab the money, boy. If that's going to make you feel better, because winning some type of case is probably not to settle it. Christian Keys had me tied up for an hour and a half listening to how he was at somebody's house that made him bend over for Hennessy. Something like that. Bonafide. I'm sorry, child. You know I can't see. He's a bona fide Philly streets dude. Is he? He's a middle class kid. Like, I don't know that he was in the streets. Was he? I don't know, child. I know the streets is saying something different. The streets is saying that don't necessarily mean you don't be inappropriately touching boys and things. That's it on them. So the pastor's wife had the people, over here at the Harper Valley PTA pissed off. If you're not familiar with that reference, Google it. Here go Jamal Bryant and his first lady in what looks like a gala of some sort. She is not standing at the altar. She is not on the pulpit, but the people said they do not like her dress. Let me let Jamal say what he had to say. And then, I'll give my 2 cents. Yep, grew up fighting, starting rapping, and then got famous, they say. What is he fighting for now, child? Some Badissi? I'm sorry. Yeah, let Jamal handle it.
Right. I needed to deal with it head on, because the other day the internet went crazy about a dress my wife had on. Now, they didn't say anything about the $4 million that was raised for the United Negro College Fund. They never mentioned that she prayed until heaven came down. They never said anything about this was the largest fundraiser for for HBCUs in the country. But insecure, jealous, petty, small-minded.
Amen.
People got in their feelings and set up a false barometer of holiness based off of a dress. Now, you got to help some people, because some people have embraced the full knowledge of ignorance without any assistance for I needed to get this straight. I needed to deal with it. Saying that the dress was not see-through. The dress was flesh color. But because you ain't never been nowhere and ain't never been exposed to nothing, I needed to set the record straight. Y'all don't like this. I need to set the record straight. I bought the dress. and I like it. I don't care whether you like it or not. She ain't mad to y'all. She mad to me. Saying that the dress was not the good thing for John the Baptist is John the Baptist is a man, because there's a double standard in church when it relates to women, and it's abysmal hypocrisy. You got out of shape preachers who rail on modesty but have never preached a sermon on obesity and gluttony. Our misogyny has become institutionalized and cloaked under spirituality. Today, if a man falls out at the altar, you will let him lay there. But if a woman lays out at the altar, the good thing for you'll pull out more sheets than Bed Bath and Beyond. In the black church tradition, in case you did not know, in the church that you were raised in the black church that you were raised in, ushers coming down the aisle had to put their hand behind their back. That was, in fact, instituted for female ushers so that men who were sitting on the aisle would not be attracted to look at their derriere. So they had to put their hand behind their back to block the eyes of nasty deacons who couldn't keep focus on the cross. We have placed the full responsibility. You'll pull out more sheets than Bed of warding off temptation on women without putting a demand of sexual discipline on men. We have swallowed an Americanized rape culture.
Swallow.
The American rape culture asked women first, what were they wearing? As if the hemline is an invitation to violation. So no correction for brothers in tight pants. No correction for brothers who got their shirts unbuttoned all the way to their belly button. No correction for brothers wearing the tight shirts even when it's wintertime. Be very clear that the Jezebel spirit is not gender specific. There are Jezebels and there is of warding.
I feel like that was my favorite line, maybe, of his whole speech. The Jezebel spirit is not gender specific. Listen, y'all are bugging. I feel like there's so much more to be worried about. There's nothing wrong with this dress. I saw somebody say it's the illusion. The illusion of what? Come on. This man said he brought the dress because he liked the way his lady looked. And maybe if she was on the pulpit, I would feel some type of different, but I do not. Listen, Jamal Bryant, although he may have been what did she say? Peter, chunk, cheater, punk and eater. Maybe, I don't know. I don't think that has anything to do with anything. I know when I say the people, I mean the government, when they shut down, the food stamps and things, this man was out here, he was gathering donations so the people could eat. And from what Elsie said, that's what they do over there. You know what I'm saying? So I've only seen Jamal get in their ass when they do wrong. So, I'm not a member of his church because as it relates to my salvation, I'll handle that on my own. I know he know how to answer sway, and neither do I. But as it relates to a church that's being very active in the community, child. And y'all want to fuss about this lady's dress, which, give me a break. Was y'all be worried about the wrong thing? Like, so she's married to Jamal. She's supposed to be what? Humbled by how? Great speech, Pastor Jamal. What'd you say? He definitely move on you. I'm grown as hell, and that's besides the point. That's besides the point. Like, that's up to me. He got a wife, and she fine, and he bought her a dress. You know what I'm saying? Listen, this is some of the things I've seen, you know, from other pastors that have so much to say over this past year. So I'm not mad at Jamal. Where's them preachers at? They over here. Remember when Shawnee's husband came over here? He didn't even do the math yet. That's a problem. Hmm. He has a $20 million problem. Why does he have a $20 million problem? Why does he have to remind himself that his parishioners don't all have $2,100? Why didn't he not calculate that before he came over here to give that damn speech about how he didn't do the numbers yet? Are you going to give your money to someone who has yet to do the numbers? This man is married to Shaunie O'Neal. So while y'all judging Pastor Jamal's wife and her dress, Shaunie's over there growing weed. Videos playing. Yeah. So, yeah. Who is this one? I forget this guy's name. You have no sound. Just say it's sharing. Let's do it again. I'm going to do it again. Did y'all hear Pastor Shaunie's husband? Here we go. I'm going to play it from the beginning.
That we were going to start over. And yet again, I believe God said, Keon, your faith was too small. So let me blow the building down so you can build what I put in your heart. God gave me a vision, and he said we can do it in 21 days. I'm asking 2,100 people to give $2,100 in the next 21 days. I'd ask 2,100 people to give $2,100. And the newspaper did the math, and they said Pastor Henderson accessed 20,000 members for $4.4 million. Let me even make sure that that's what it equals, because I hadn't even done the math yet. Yeah, it's 4.4. I hadn't done the math. It was what God had given me. What I forgot to do, that I'm going to do right now, is remind myself that everybody doesn't have $2,100. And the Lord convicted me on that. And I went back and I prayed about it. And I want to apologize for not offering an opportunity for people who don't have it like that. Everybody doesn't have $2,100. The Lord said, but somebody has $21. And if you go back and read the article, they'll tell you that the building was $20 million. So what does $4 million do when you have a $20 million problem? I told our church.
What does $4 million do when you got a $20 million problem? He got a problem, all right. But I didn't hear him say anything about what he's doing for the community. He wants his community to reach in their pockets for $2,100 and then say, oh my, I didn't realize that everybody doesn't have $2,100. Child, Jamal did an interview. He has a podcast. He did an interview with him. I want to go check it out. Marvin Sapp. He's locking the people.
I want everybody to remain standing quickly. How many of y'all really received something from the word of the Lord tonight? This is simple. 1,000 people giving what I'm about to challenge will be $20,000. 1,000 people giving what I'm about to challenge you all to do will be $20,000. Now, for those of us who are on the dais, I'm taking you higher, so put it back. I'm a strong believer that leaders lead not only in time, not only in talent, but also in treasure. Leaders lead in time, talent, and treasure. I was taught a long time ago that it costs to sit up here. There's 1,000 of you. I said, close them doors. Ushers, close the doors. Close the doors. Close the doors. We all gonna lead together. Y'all ain't going no place but to the restaurant. There's 1,000 of you tonight, and those that are watching, it's 1,000 that's watching online. This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000 tonight. Now, everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100. Because again, it costs to sit up here. Y'all start moving. Y'all can bring it right now. Come. Even if you're giving tangibly, just put your hand on take your phone and stick it on the bucket. Shh. Giving is worship. Giving is worship. 1,000 people online need to give $20. This is easy, saints. This is an easy miracle. We should be able to raise $40,000 tonight just from y'all giving. I'm about to close the doors for me for a quick.
This man that closed the doors and locked you in. All I'm asking you for is a hit the like button. But he's holding the doors closed for $20. One more.
I, Roberta McCoy, given faith and stand in unity with the vision of Perfecting Church of sowing this seed of $1,000 plus $235 and receiving the blessings to come to all that participated.
Now that's only $1,200.
Yes.
Y'all not listening to what I'm saying. If you have 1,000 plus 1,000.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna work on the other 800.
Well, that ain't what I asked you to do.
So this pastor feels like it's cool to just humiliate his parishioners if they don't come up with the right money that he asked for. You say, I don't get into any of these celebrity pastors. Yeah. If you know the word yourself, you'll see that they're all doing the opposite of what the word says. He said to chew the meat and throw away the bone. Amen. Listen, I don't get into celebrity pastors. I don't get into any pastors. You know, it's not my ministry. But what I'm saying is Jamal is over here actively doing things within his community. You know, the prior pastor is over there rest his soul. What was his name? Eddie Long. Eddie Long was over there in that church doing whatever he was doing on the private jet with the young boys and actively standing on a political platform of anti-gay. So, and you could not say nothing bad about him. You was not going to be, I would guarantee you that just if the folks heard what I said, the new birth old heads pre Jamal Bryant would sit up here and say, I'm just a lie. And that is not true. I mean, I saw what I saw. If you're doing what you're supposed to be doing for the community, then, I'm here for that. I don't really care what kind of dress your wife wore to the ball. However, when you're over here telling people that they need to pay $20 million for what? For a building? So you're like, what is $4 million going to do? Get you closer. Now you only need 16. And you'll come back again asking these people for another $2,100 or however much you need. Child. I went over to Jamal's page and he has some interesting interviews over there that I want to check out. So he did a podcast with his girls and they all sat there with their prospective college, representing sweatshirts. You got Grace, she's at Florida A&M. She's majoring in PR. Adore is going to Hampton. She's pre-law. Angel is at Spelman and she's pre-med. Shout out to Giselle because we know if Giselle did anything right. We've watched the girls since they were little. I feel like on the show, if you're not familiar, Real Housewives of Potomac, on the show, we have watched the girls call their mama out. You know what I'm saying? Even as little girls. So when Giselle is in the mess, they made sure to let her know what they thought. So, good job, Giselle. And honestly, the conversation with them and their father, he, talks about how he wasn't present and how he introduced them to his wife. And, I'm all here for a positive relationship and family and what that looks like. I would imagine Miss Carrie ain't thinking about Giselle, ain't trying to be bothered with her, but is good to the girls. And he did, Giselle say they didn't know nothing about it. He did. They talked about that where he didn't say nothing to them. He was, getting engaged to that lady without having the proper conversation with his girls. He did an interview with Snoop from The Wire. I just watched that one. I love to listen to Snoop talk. He did Jasmine Crockett. I haven't watched that one. And Mark Curry is over there giving information or, dropping tea on, what Diddy was over there doing. So, I'm not finna sign up to go to Jamal's church, but I am subscribed to his channel because I want to hear what some of those conversations are about. He's very charismatic as a preacher. Speaking of preachers, have y'all watched the documentary it's on TLC about Mary Crosby from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City? Now, this was quite interesting. I didn't know I was going to get into it. I'm going to finish watching it and I'm not really going to review it necessarily, but I'll probably come back over here and have a little conversation with y'all about this, especially if you watch. I feel like even if you don't watch Salt Lake City, you know about Mary, who got married to her grandfather. They want to say step grandfather, whatever. It's like, why do people need to be led so much based on the things that they were saying and their experiences in this church? I will say the narrative is that Mary came over here and turned her grandmama's church into a cult. But when I'm watching it and the way they tell the story, it was already a cult. Y'all call this lady Mama. It was very strange. Mama did not protect her granddaughter. She brought Robert over there and, I'll get into the story. Like I said, we'll talk about it, but they said Mama walked from Indianapolis all the way to Salt Lake City with her ministry. So Mama was on a cult, from the very beginning. I don't know if that's what she thought she was doing, but that's definitely what it turned into. So yeah, it's good from what I'm seeing so far. So yeah, you might want to check that out and I'll be back to talk about it. Also, I don't really be on TLC that much. I was just about to say that was already culture. Yes, the mother, them calling her Mama, like listening to these people talk, it's like they worshiping the lady that was prior to her. It's very strange. She has a sister over here who might just be jealous that Mary received all the wealth and stuff. So yeah. Also, I saw a ad for, it's called Suddenly Amish. And so this black kid is about to go join the Amish community, and I'm gonna peep it and see, you know, what they talking about, because I want to add, you know, some more things, some more conversations over here on my channel. We're doing, you know, it's a new year. We're doing more things. You'll see me probably a little bit more with these types of conversations. So thank you for hanging out with me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back 7 o'clock because we're going to go live with Ready to Love. Bye, y'all.